to the Culture Casino. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I think we're going to have a wonderful hour here. We have a special guest that showed up at the last minute, an AFK Bard. So I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody in right now. First and foremost, we have the Mirror Sphere's Origin. Hey, what's going on? All right, and then next we've got our friend Wes Moody. Hey, Wes,
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going great.
All right, fantastic. And I think Mirror Sphere, you may be muted, but several things happened in the world several things happened in the world that we're not going to talk about today. We're going to take the opportunity to avoid some of the subjects that are out in the day-to-day world, because I like to have at least 1 hour of the day where I can talk about some neat stuff. Now, it doesn't mean things don't creep into the neat stuff, but you can't avoid it. So first and foremost, everybody was kind of excited this week because we were getting our first peek at the new PS5, which I think is kind of a cool thing. First impressions, you know what, Mirror Sphere, you go first. What did you think when you got an opportunity to check it out?
I think it's better than a PS4. I think the design's a lot more. I think it looks better.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know more about like the controller setup and how all the things. I'm just worried that because it's so sensitive that it will have problems pretty quickly.
That might be true. Wes, what did you think?
I thought it was. I know it's gotten some flack, but I think it's a beautiful console. I think aesthetically it's beautiful. It looks very upmarket. The controllers look very functional and also aesthetically pleasing. I love the solid state drive. I'm a little bit leery that we seem to be moving away from disk drives, and the disk drive version does. I guess the slot's supposed to be on the bottom this time, which might kind of help the way it looks if you lay it horizontally, but it's all going to hinge on the price, and solid state drives are not cheap. And this does not look like a cheap console. It looks like it's going to be costing a premium.
Yeah, it's at $800 or something like that. I'm like,
If you do the conversion from the placeholder that leaked on Amazon from the UK, if you do the currency conversion, it's $760. I think that's for the base level digital version. I think the optical drive is going to cost you another $50 or so. So $800 out the door. That's a lot of bucks, man.
Yeah,
a lot of bucks.
Let's go on discount.
Yeah, well, and that's big. I mean, if you think that your PS4 controller is, if you take that, stand it on edge like these are here. These are called dual sense controllers, by the way, these new ones. But if you stand that up on end and you basically do some quick comparisons, you can see that is like 4.5 controllers high.
It's massive.
So it's not a small box, those of you who have custom cabinetry built around a PS4, I don't know you're going to fit this beast in that slot. So, and honestly, I mean, we don't really know what these things are going to be capable of. We do know a little bit of the hardware stats. I mean, there's a custom made 825 gigabyte drive, SSD, like you were saying, Wes, that's going to be integrated in this thing, but it's a custom drive. That's not a standard size by any fraction of the imagination. And the onboard memory is fantastic. It's the new DDR6, it's going to have a pretty big pipeline. So this thing will turn on and off like instantly, and you will never have any performance delay based on whether or not you have a hardware problem, because you shouldn't have to wait on a drive or anything like that. So do you know anything, either of you know anything else about the technical details of these guys?
No.
Well, 16 gigabytes of RAM for a console is like, wow, that's
I know.
That's amazing. That's PC territory.
It is, and when you consider that most games now are somewhere between 45 and 65 gigabytes. Although we've seen some big 100 monsters recently, but on a console, it's usually in that price range or in that space range, I should say. But yeah, I think that's good. I mean, 16 gigabytes, you're going to be able to load. I don't think you'll see load screen. I don't think you'll see delays. I think it'll limit pop in, because that's one of the things. If you play a game like Skyrim or Fallout, even as sophisticated as those games were and the game engines were at the time, you will still have artifact pop in or character pop in or
bunch of it.
Yeah. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So well, this is something that, and I'm going to start highlighting some comments in the chat, because we have some educated people that are watching us right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have oh wow, Dalified's here. Hey buddy. We've got RR, we've got According to Christie, hello. Paulo Patriot, of course. Hail to Greek mythology and those Twi'lek women, my friend.
Blue Twi'lek women are his favorite.
Oh yeah, well, I think any Twi'leks in a storm. But anyway, so let's start.
He says green in a pinch.
That's right. It whatever works. But here you go. RR is start. We'll start here, because with tax, let's say it's about under $1,000. Yeah, that's rough, man. That's like a smartphone.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, Apollo Patriots, I'm going to try to buy the PS5 controller and hotwire it to your Xbox. Yeah, the Xbox controllers don't, especially on the new system, don't look appealing to me, at least from what I've seen so far. And these are going to be fancy. These are kind of a different kind of trigger mechanism than we got on the DualShocks from the PS4. They're supposed to be, even more sensitive. So I guess on driving games that'll be preferred. And everything on this is supposed to have haptic response. So you're supposed to be able to feel different, I guess.
I'm just worried.
Even the R1 and L1 buttons look like they have a little bit of trigger kind of mechanism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I believe that is also part of the more analog, response. They're be pressure sensitive, which will be cool, because if you're drawing a bead on something in a sniping game, and usually that's a left trigger, right trigger combination, but you can now move that to those other buttons. Those are the top hats buttons if you wanted to. So I think that would be cool, but that's just me.
The only thing I'm just worried about is if you guys have a Switch, you know how much problems the controllers have for those things.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons.
I have like 6 of them now, because the Joy-Cons mess up, and it'll just.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just.
They sent out
this is going to the same,
Yeah, they sent out a new firmware update not too long ago that was supposed to resolve some of those issues. So if you had the opportunity to upgrade those, but I have at least 3 Joy-Cons that don't work at all.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I do. And they're still $60. So I'm just, I don't want to. These might be way more than that. I'm worried about how much price, just one controller is going to be a piece.
Yeah, that concerns me.
I'm still doing my Nintendoing on a Wii U, and my controller still works. So the Joy-Con controllers, even when you put them on the dock or whatever, the buttons just feel. I don't know. I don't like the button feel of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think I can still. I use a Pro controller for my Nintendo gaming. So, because I had those little Joy-Con, I gave up on them. So now they just sit attached to the gizmo, on the wings, and
I think when I do upgrade Switch, the Pro controller is going to be a must, because I don't think I can do the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, they're just.
But
and then the weirdness of like taking one of them and using them like this tiny little. I mean, that's like that. That's almost as
hands.
Yeah. It's
okay
almost
for like
bad
that milking game. They're okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have that. Have you seen the stupid Sega thing they did where they released these micro consoles that are like this big with a 1-inch screen?
What?
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Aren't they like?
All right.
Like, how expensive were the? I think I saw something like $500 or something.
Well, if you bought all 4 of them, it was some stupid amount of money. I mean, it was like $400 if you got all 4 and you wanted the big magnifying screen that comes in that bundle. I'm like, I can play these games on an emulator for free.
Yeah.
Hey, what the heck?
I don't know what they were thinking.
So yeah. For the money, you should never have to wait. If you're gonna spend $1,000 on a console, you shouldn't have to wait for something to load or for your games to break down, or because I've been going back in my game catalog, and I think I've talked with some folks about it, maybe Wes and maybe you, Mirrorsphere, but I've been going back, and I started back at the first Assassin's Creed, and I'm playing up through them all right now. I mean, all of them.
Nice.
So I just got to Unity, and I a lot of people didn't like that one. To me, it's kind of fun to play in France like that at the beginning and all that. But there's some game elements there that I'm glad they abandoned. Some mechanics I'm not a fan of. But what's the spec for latency?
That was
no, you know what, Dolified, I don't think they're going to have that much latency. What do you guys think? I mean, with that kind of bandwidth in the pipe that they've got.
I don't know. I'd have to see more. I know they said something about it's supposed to be 60.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get the 60 frames a second if you're absolutely looking for that. Do you have any insight on that, Wes?
I would expect at least I expect 60 frames per second. That's what I would expect.
So I mean, it's got a variable frequency processor with 8 cores, or I guess it's eight processors. I mean, most people don't understand you're putting multiple processors on a die, so that's how you end up with an 8-core processor. But and it's an AMD Zen 2, so it's running at 3.5 gigahertz. The GPU is where the bottleneck always is with a gaming console, and I was expecting more than the 10.2 teraflops. We kind of broke this down on the gaming stream on when this thing launched, the day this launched on Kai's channel the other day, and I just noticed that Kai is in the chat right now. But it's gonna run at a variable frequency too at 2.23 gigahertz, so it's nearly as powerful, it's nearly as powerful as the CPU itself. So, but you're right. I mean, if it's the memory interface runs at 256 bits because it's GDR6. The bandwidth is 448 gigabytes. If I can't expect any, I don't think you'll have any latency. I don't know how you'd have latency on that console. I don't know. I mean, even at 60 frames a second, I don't know how that would happen. I don't. Anyway. So, hey, Shellback, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, the controllers sound amazing. Yeah, not Dual Shock now, Dual Sense. It's kind of cool, which means I think they're going to try to incorporate the touchpad more. Did you guys ever see the mock-ups where they looked like they were going to put a screen where the touchpad was?
Yeah, right between the I was like, that's going to make it really wide. I don't know. But
I don't know. I think they could have done it. I mean, that's more than one of those friggin' Sega micro consoles. I mean,
it's true.
Yeah. It's like 3 times the size of that 1-inch diagonal. But and then we have it kind of looks like an Xbox controller, only better.
Yeah, on the inside, the two-tone reminds me of the Xbox controllers a little bit, and the shape of whatever.
Hey, Snowdub's here. What's up?
Hello.
Kai's here, like I said. Cool. Hey, Kai.
Yeah.
Hello. And this is the problem that I'm stuck with. You have game systems that have exclusive titles, and you have to buy both consoles if you want to play them.
Yeah, I was a big Xbox player forever, and I had up to 360. And after 2 of my consoles had the red ring of death, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm going to PlayStation. So now I got PS4 Pro, so that's what I've been using the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I upgraded to one of the weird special edition ones with that's all gold with the gold controller and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I blinged it out. But, I mean, because based on the first one, and this is something that Snowdub brings up. You get a lot of people just wait for the initial price drop, and may want to because this is dumb expensive. If it's really going to be $800.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to buy one without a drive or an optical drive. I don't know anybody in their right mind that would buy something without an optical drive now. With what they're doing to media and censoring just any media, you want to have your disc. You want to avoid the updates. That's for darn sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that would really suck. They're just like, okay, we're done, and they cut off their, and then you just stuck there with like whatever you had on disc, and now you. Yeah.
Have both of you guys played Battlefront 2, the Star Wars thing?
No, I haven't.
It had a rough launch, and there were a lot of people that were really down on it. But what happens to games like that when they stop supporting the servers? Because eventually that'll happen. I mean, just like with all these other games, they eventually reach what they think is the expiry date, even though it has a player base playing them.
Yeah, pretty much what they did is they released a new one, and they let it play for a while, and then they just kind of shut off the old one because they expect all the players to only go to the new one.
So let's move along because I wanted to talk about this too. I wanted to talk about the games that were revealed in the PlayStation 5 reveal as well. Did you guys catch any of the reveal? Did you watch or rewatch any of that at all?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I
saw some of it.
Yeah, I did a live stream with my brother watching it. It was
awesome.
It was pretty good.
So were you guys impressed in any way?
Some of the games I think it's way better than Xbox did. Far better. Okay. And I just watched the PC one yesterday on Az's channel. That was horrible. So far PlayStation's up here and everybody else is like, nah. So yeah. Some of the games look fantastic.
I'm kind of wondering why they decided to go with Miles Morales with Spider-Man.
Well, it kind of teased at the end of Spider-Man. You know how he showed his powers in the game.
I haven't gotten to the end yet.
Oh well!
Damn it! Oh, okay. I need to upgrade.
Like 5 years.
I need to upgrade my hard drive, and I haven't done it yet. I downloaded it.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see a better number of premium titles, or a larger number. That's the right word, not a better. But they'll have a better launch because they'll have a larger number of premium titles right off the bat. But I still feel like we got a bunch of recycling.
Yeah, like I think we're talking about on one of the other streams, GTA 5 is getting revamped for the PS5, and that started as like a PS3 title. So
did that make it onto the PS3?
GTA 5? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, you know what? I think you're probably right. I think I probably have the book here someplace. Yeah. I got the book.
It does. Whoa, nice. It does look much better on PS4, and you can do the first person mode. I mean, like much better.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
go ahead.
Maybe it'll be worth it. That'd be interesting. 4K and HDR and all that crap. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. I don't. Here's the problem I have with that. Okay, so now we're talking about a game that has spanned 3 consoles then.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was really excited to see how they were fleshing it out with they bringing back the voice actors to do, more voice acting for more scenarios or missions or whatever you want to call them, DLC, right? This is basically a bunch of DLC. That's some cool stuff. The question is, if you've already bought this game twice now, are you gonna buy it a third time? Because apparently it. Yeah, GTA 5.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll give Rockstar some credit in that the online version that I bought, I got it on special for I forget I was not paying $59.99. We'll put it that way.
Right.
I don't know if it was $19.99 or if it was like $15.99, but I was like, okay, for a title like that, that's totally worth it. So maybe it'll be similarly discounted on PS5.
Yeah, I hope it is, because here's one of the sales things that they used at the end, and GTA was like one of their biggest announcements. It was full of a lot of media because the game's been out forever. But I think that you're going to get, starting from the day that this launch happened, you're going to get $1 million a month until the PS5 comes out on the GTA 5 online service, if you've got that. So make sure you log in every month for that, kids. But it gives you that gives you a distinct advantage for launching on a new console, I guess, because it's an extra $4 million or whatever. by the time this thing comes out. Because I'm expecting. When do you guys think this will come out? Let's have a straw poll here with the three of us.
Well, they said by the holiday season, so I'm going to say late October.
Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere between October and December.
Yeah, I think end of October too. I think we'll see it around Halloween, because I think that they're going to want to take full advantage of that. I think they're going to sell out of the units, even though its price point is ridiculous. And I think it's going to be one of those things that doesn't have a price drop on the day after Thanksgiving shopping day. So I think that won't happen. Now, the other thing they announced was the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. So I have now heard two different things, and I think Mirasphere's, got some information here that I would like him to share. So
yeah, I kept looking on the websites. There's like several different articles and different websites saying it's a DLC, it's a whole new game. So I finally just said screw it. Went to their the game company's Twitter, and they said yes, it is a full on game. It's just not as large as the first one, and it's going to be a spin-off. So I think that means that this is going to be like a side game to the, and they're going to continue the former Spider-Man. That's probably what's going to happen, and this will be just like a side game.
And did you hear anything at all, Wes, or any of that?
No,
Anything
I haven't.
about it?
I haven't.
Yeah, see, and I didn't. And here's the thing: I never dove into the original game, so all I can base what I say is on what I know. What I know is this is about a 10-hour add-on or a standalone, depending upon how you look at it. Because I think it's going to sell both ways.
Yeah. This was a big sell for the PS4. Was the Spider-Man one? So we'll see what they do.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like the story, but I didn't like the game mechanics and gameplay. I was I gave up there. There's one mission where I had to chase after somebody and swing through the city or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't find the guy, and I was like, it was like, oh, you didn't keep up, and I was like, fuck it. And I deleted it, and I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5 instead.
Good for you. Good for you.
I never played any Grand Theft Auto,
So we've got a lot of games that they talked about, but there were not. I mean, there were a few AAA titles, right? But the majority of that announcement, or at least I felt, was a bunch of independent studios, right? And up until recently, I had a very poor opinion of independent games because I always felt like they lacked polish. You know what I mean? So obviously, the games that I'm looking forward to are. Are the ones that have a lot more polish because they've come about because they have people who left studios, to create their own studio to make a quality game. So I have no interest in Bug Snacks. I don't know if you saw that one.
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
What is this?
it's I want to be Animal Crossing, only dumber. And then Deathloop, I think that looks cool.
That does look interesting. There are 2 loop games. I was like, what's with all these loop games?
Yeah. Well, hey, look, the idea being when you die, you have to try a different way of sorting this out again. So I think that's going to be cool. And to be honest with you, Ghostwire looked like a freak show. Until I see more gameplay on that one, I don't think I'm going to touch it. Godfall looked interesting, but it looks like a Warframe clone to me.
It's supposed to be like if Anthem was medieval. It's a looter slasher is what they call it. Instead of a looter shooter, it's you got armor and you got weapons and you upgrade them as you get loot and
Right.
I was okay, it looks interesting. I have to see a lot more gameplay before I even.
Well, and the challenge to all of this is, and I think Wes will agree, is you almost don't know what you're getting anymore when it comes to these games. Unlike when we were, younger folks, you knew the game you were getting before you bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Wes, that you would agree, right? I'm not.
Yeah, Zelda. You're labyrinthine and spelunking and rescuing a princess.
Yeah. Demon Souls look really good. They were talking about that in the chat. I never played the original, so
I'm excited for Hitman. I loved Hitman Blood Money. Hitman Blood Money was just amazing. What a fun game.
Yeah, did you feel like you were satisfied with the 2 episodic versions of Hitman we just got?
I don't think I played those ones.
I haven't played them either. Sad to say.
It's been a while since I played Hitman.
There was a PS3 version of Hitman that was not Blood Money that I did not care for. The game mechanics were all screwy and didn't play well.
All right. Well, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to add another party to our group here. Someone who knows an awful lot about games, and it has and talks about them exclusively and plays them. In fact, their channel is, or channels, I should say, is dedicated to it, and that's the Mando Merc. So I'm going to see if I can drag Mando Merc in here to spend a couple minutes with us. So we'll see how that goes. Beyond that, though. I want to get back to the chat because we've got some people that are asking some great questions. I want everybody's opinion on that. What do you think about the Halo Infinite leaks and how that seems to be being confirmed by a lot of people that it's an open world game, which will be really, yeah. I don't think we've ever had that in a Halo game, truly.
No.
So I think that would be amazing to me.
Yeah. Absolutely. That would be. I've often heard comparisons that the Metroid Prime series was Haloid. Well, the Metroid.
Haloid.
Well, if they make Halo like the Metroid Prime series, where you kind of, where it felt kind of open, well, some semi-open world-ish. I mean, it was. You had to do certain things to get to certain areas, but it allowed for sequence breaking. If they made it like that, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I remember when Dead came out. I thought that was a Halo. I did because it showed the guy in the cloak, and I swear I was like, "Is that Master Chief? That looks like freaking Master Chief. That'd be awesome." And it wasn't, but
awesome. See, and that's the thing is, you almost don't know what, and that circles back to what I was saying. You almost don't know what you're getting when you're looking at these trailers, and even the limited gameplay we're offered. The only game I have any confidence in, and I've said it for the last year and a half, Cyberpunk 2077. And I don't know anybody that's not going to get that game. I don't know anyone that's not going to get that game. So, but hey, we have a guess on when it's going to come out. RR thinks we're going to see the console in November. I think that's probably there. Just before Black Friday. Yeah, I think that's probably true.
True,
yeah. Yeah. Mando Merc, of course, is in here. So he just did the rounds and said, hi to stuff and then all of that. And of course, yeah, he covers all that stuff on his channel. So, on Mando Merc's channel. So, yeah, nobody's real thrilled with this game. I mean, there might be some people, but nobody got super pumped. And I understand this sentiment. I've been seeing this out there. To me, Spider-Man is, Spider-Man. Yeah. And I can see maybe Peter Parker's kids or, a family member, or the suit gets hounded down in the right way. I can accept a lot of that stuff, but here's the problem.
He died.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah,
I know in the story it's like he dies, and then Miles is like the one who takes on the mantle, pretty much. But I don't think they're going to do that, man.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to bring in Mando Merc right now. Hey, Mando.
I think they should make Mikey Spock.
Hey, guys.
Spider-Man. Hey, Mando.
Mike. Hey, glad you could join us today. That's awesome. I'm glad you had the time. It's cool that you dropped into the chat and let me know you were available. So that's great. So your feelings. I know you're not thrilled about the Miles Morales game.
Yeah, as I can show, as most of you've probably seen my other profile picture, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and of the original classic comic books. I mean, I made this is a logo I made, like the spider emblem I'm about to show here. I made this when I was a kid. After I first started playing Spider-Man 2000, it inspired me to make my own version of the back emblem, and then from there, it just I was into gaming for a while, so it's kind of a mix of things. But yeah, so I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I hate Miles Morales as a character just because his entire existence seems to be get Peter Parker killed off so he can replace him.
Yeah.
And
he's also the textbook definition of a Gary Stu, if you read about his creation.
Gary Stu?
Mary Sue. It's the male equivalent.
The male
of Mary
version
Sue.
of
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Because Mary Sue was the author inserting herself into the story. Basically, that's the original definition. And if you read about the creation of Miles Morales, the guy that created him is like, oh, well, I'm a mixed race Puerto Rican black dude, and I wanted a mixed race Puerto Rican black dude to be Spider-Man. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Except that he's
Yeah,
Peter
or
Parker.
made an excellent point. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Now, that being said, what you're saying, you can hand off these character titles to other characters. Like, for example, I thought Tom DeFalco's Spider Girl was a good way to do it.
Oh yeah, Spider.
For example, Prodigal, the storyline Batman, where Dick Grayson becomes Batman after he finally takes the mantle back from Azrael. That was a good way to do it. But when it comes down, Bruce Wayne is Batman. Clark Kent is Superman. Bruce Banner is the Hulk. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Tony Stark is Iron Man. Steve Rogers is Captain America. That's at the end of the day. That's how it is. Now, you can make an alternate universe if you want. That's fine. But, I mean, I just don't like the idea of having to see, because at least looking at it as a Spider-Man fan, Spider-Man PS4 is the best Spider-Man content we had in a decade. In the entire decade of 2010 to 2020. It was the best, objectively best Spider-Man content we've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the movies. The comics were crap.
Yeah.
That was the best thing. And that's not saying much either, because it wasn't that great. I wasn't, everyone was like, oh, look, it's so good, oh, this. And I'm just like, it's okay. The story's pretty much like a modern-day version of Spider-Man 2, and it's not that good.
True.
And But yeah, it was still the best thing that we got, and now they're just gonna ruin it with Miles Morales. Now they did set it up in that game, and that's fine. But I was hoping that, because look, I'll tolerate it if they're both in the game and you can play co-op, because that would be cool. We never had a Spider-Man co-op game. Actually, I designed one once out of boredom, but I mean, actually, I never pitched it to anyone. Yeah, I was back when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, I love the Clone Towers.
Yeah, it seems like it just seems like it was a copy paste. You took Peter Parker and you copy pasted it on top of
it's
Miles
tokenized
Morales.
Peter Parker. I agree fully with Eric July on Young Ripper when he says that. It's tokenized Peter Parker.
Yeah,
which isn't good.
No.
So, but anyway, so you have the Miles Morales game, which is only going to be about 10 hours long, and at least from what's reported.
I don't understand the whole uproar about it, because to me, look, I don't like the character, but if he gets his own game or whatever, fine, I don't care. If it's a DLC, or if it's expansion to PS4, the Spider-Man PS4, or if it's a new game for the PS5 exclusively, I don't care. So why does it matter?
Yeah, well, it doesn't. I mean, in sales will bear out whether or not it's popular. You know what I mean? It's the voting with your wallets for stuff. I mean, the game developers are going to hide the numbers under, in earnings statements, but ultimately it's going to inform whether they make those in the future or not. Wes, I want to talk about Metroid Prime 4. Tell me about Metroid Prime 4.
We have a very long wait ahead of us. Apparently, Nintendo. God, I've got the stream brain. I knew exactly what the originals. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up so that I'm accurate. But Nintendo had commissioned for the Nintendo Switch. They originally had I did have it right. Bandai Namco Studios to do Metroid Prime 4. That's what I thought too, but I didn't want to look stupid. Well, more stupid than normal anyway. And so, they weren't satisfied with the way that was going, so they put it back to Retro Studios to do the development. Now, a lot of the people that developed the first 3 Metroid Prime games are not there anymore, so hopefully it's still going to kick ass. Got to think at least, the people working on it hopefully will have the same passion and will pick up the phone and call some of the original people that were on the original team.
Oh, no. We just lost Mirrorsphere, I guess. Internet said bye-bye. So he'll be back. He'll be back. It happens. So here's something interesting we've been talking about for a very long time. An open world Star Wars game. And there have been 2 now that have been started and canceled. So I want this too.
Don't get me started on EA and Star Wars.
Hey,
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
get
ahead.
started.
Fine. This
go.
might be a 2-hour rant. Okay.
We
No,
only have another
I've literally gone
30
on for
minutes.
4 hours ranting about Star Wars and EA. So, and I unfortunately I timed it. Yeah, Star Wars and EA. Okay, I'm a huge Battlefront 1 and 2 guy, like from the original Battlefront 1 and 2. Like that's how I started my channel originally. And as you know, as my interest in Star Wars got killed, so did my playing that game. Unfortunately, I still play it every now and then, but it's not the same. And yeah, an open, like here's the thing: my dream game for Star Wars was an open universe thing, and I finally got that in Star Citizen. And today, I'm almost glad it's not a Star Wars game because of what's going on now.
Yeah.
And also that plus, it's actually an original creation, original lore and universe and all that. So props to them.
Did you enjoy the campaign mode of Battlefront 2? I'm just curious because yeah, with the female, yeah.
Wait, what do you mean the female? What?
Oh no, what's her name?
The EA one.
Yeah,
Oh,
EA. I'm sorry.
EA one, not the no. The,
oh, hey.
I like the original one from 2005, but the EA one, I didn't care for it. It's very, 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 very sad. Like it's like pathetic sad. Like everything you can see from a mile away. It wasn't very whatever. And yeah, I actually haven't played the new Battlefront 2. At least I don't own it. I played it at a friend's house. That's about it. Because I got EA Battlefront 1, and I immediately go, I'm not buying the sequel. This is garbage. This is literally has less content than the original Battlefront 1 back in 2004. So I mean, it's only 4 maps. You have like 5 game modes, but only 2 of them are fun. You get bored after 20 minutes, so pretty much 1 match. There's nothing. That game was empty in terms of content. It was such a sad game.
Was it microtransacted to hell when it first came out?
Yeah.
Like I got it because I was like thinking, oh, it's Star Wars Battlefront. I was a huge Battlefront fan, and we didn't see much stuff, but I figured I'd get it and see if it was like up to par. Because you have to keep in mind, I probably also this may have been a bit of my fault, where I kind of built up in my head what the next Battlefront should be, because I was following the Battlefront 3 that Free Radical was making before it got canceled when LucasArts shuts down, and then Free Radical went under. So
and there's so many
face to ground combat and all that. So
there are so many canceled Star Wars games that and many of them would have been great. It's frustrating. So all right, well, so there we are. We didn't see any announcement as far as Star Wars goes for the PS5. We didn't see much beyond what we already knew about the hardware specs. And we know for sure that there's going to be some Sony exclusive games. Obviously, we were talking about a couple of them, but there's going to be a bunch of stuff on there that's going to be, there's going to be multi-platform PC, options as well. Well, I just want to say that the game I think is the biggest beast of them all that's on the horizon, aside from Cyberpunk 2077, which again I think is going to be game of the year for the next 20 years. But was it Fallout 4 that got game of the year like multiple years? I mean, am I wrong? There was a game like that.
I think so. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me considering how all the modding community essentially kept that game alive.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's the mods. We could play a different mod every day and be like 3 years into it. So, so the game I'm looking forward to is Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You guys, you feel solid about that? I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan.
I was a huge Assassin's Creed fan until I want to say I guess between Syndicate and Origins, I kind of fell off because they started drifting away to what I felt made Assassin's Creed.
Became more of an RPG.
What?
It became more of an RPG-ish style.
Yeah, it became an RPG, which is fine. It's just the story changed too.
Yeah.
Like the modern day story kind of faded completely into non-existence. And
doesn't it feel like you're not getting those elements that we got in the three
yeah,
previous?
and it's not like you can't do it because Miles is dead. You can easily still do it. Have it be like, you're still following the crew post Miles' death, and you get to see how they react to their friend now being dead and sacrificing himself to save the world and all that. But they didn't. Like they also, that's another thing. They killed off Miles, and then they completely got rid of the other characters who were still alive. His father and Rebecca and Sean.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, where did Rebecca and Sean go is a question I've seen and heard many times.
Them was in the modern day cutscenes in Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah, well, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, because I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, and then everything from there, it's been like this two ladies in Origins and whoa, my gosh, it's Greek mythology. Help me out, Apollo Patriot. Odyssey, thank you. All right, God, my brain's melted. Stream brain, that's what we call it, right, Wes?
Yeah.
But so anyway, you had games, you have games like that deviated from their original storytelling. I still think the games are good. I think that some of the precursor elements are a little difficult to
get alien.
Yeah, to get your arms around, unless you're deep in the lore. Yeah, you're right.
It's really, because I was a big fan of the lore and everything of Assassin's Creed, and it's kind of because I played Assassin's Creed Rogue recently. When I say recently, about a year ago, that's when I really picked it up and started playing. Forgot how fun it was, and I also forgot how good the modern day story is in that game, because it makes me want to get more into. Like it made me want to see and hear more of the modern day story of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Because they just did this massive attack on the assassins again. In that game. So now what's going on? What's the power struggle between the Templars and Assassin now? What's going?
Well, if the rumors are to be believed, at least a few of them, we're going to see the modern day struggle quite a bit in this next game, in addition to the Viking world. So we'll see that, just not in this. That's also part of the problem, is we're dealing kind of with the same problem that the show Westworld is when it comes to Assassin's Creed, because you're trying to maintain contiguous timelines. So
plus
two
also
different.
I'm not a fan of them jumping back before the Assassins even existed, because to me it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's Assassin's Creed game without assassins. The Assassin Brotherhood isn't there, the Templar Order isn't there. How's this an Assassin's Creed game? And they've gotten rid of. I don't know if they added it back in Odyssey, but in Origins, because I've played that, they got rid of one of the stealth mechanics that I actually really enjoyed in Assassin's Creed games, where you blend in with the crowd.
I think you could blend in Odyssey. One of the neat features of Unity and from Brotherhood and Unity and all of that was that stealth mechanic was even more effective in a crowd. So
you a bigger crowd all the time.
Yeah, it was that worked out really, really well. So,
and Assassin's Creed was always a stealth game that you could choose to ixnay on the stealth, but for the most part it was a stealth game, and they got rid of that with the more RPG type mechanics. And to me it feels like Ubisoft really wanted to make a historical fantasy RPG, but they didn't want to risk just making a new IP and having it bomb, so they just decided to put it under the banner of Assassin's Creed.
That could be true too.
Had guaranteed success.
Yeah.
We're starting to get towards the end, and I want everybody to have a chance to talk about what they're looking forward to game wise. So I want to start with Mirrorsphere first. Let's do that. When it comes to these upcoming titles, what do you think you want to see?
Oh man.
In
terms of PS5 exclusives, or in general, what's coming out in the next 2 years?
Well, I think. Well, I don't care. PS5 exclusives or cross-platform, but let's start with Mirrorsphere's origin and move around the horn here.
Of course, I'm excited for Cyberpunk. That's everybody is. But the new games I saw, what was that one called? Corine, something like that. Can't remember the name of it. Started with a K. It was kind of like a fantasy where it got like the staff, the crystal, They were shooting arrows.
Kenna, I think it was called.
Yeah, Kenna. Something. Yeah, Kenna. That one looked really
Kenna.
cool.
Yeah, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Yeah,
I was covering that live with a friend of mine. He was like excited about that game too. Me personally, not so much, but
yeah, that one looked awesome. Other than that, what was a couple of the others? I saw the Square Enix one looked interesting.
Hitman.
Oh, not the Hitman one. The other one, the Project.
Ethia. Project Ethia.
Yeah. I'm big Square, and I know Final Fantasy 16 is coming up soon because the guy is working on head guy of Final Fantasy 14 is working as a head as Final Fantasy 16. So I can't wait to see what he is crafting. And he is an amazing designer, and he saved 14. So I can't wait to see what he's got planned.
I think I'm looking forward to those too. I think that would be the new Final Fantasy will be pretty amazing.
I hope so. I can't wait to see what he's got planned. I saw some of the trailers.
Nothing else blew your skirt up from the PS5 game titles?
I know I have trouble remembering things. The Soul or Demon Souls, that looked really cool. Yeah. I never played the original, so this will be interesting. I think it looked like it's a lot like Dark Souls. So
yeah.
And okay, so but that's where you think Dark Souls, you think those will look pretty good. Demon Souls is just a remake, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay, let's see, Mando. What do you think? I give you a couple minutes to see what you're looking forward to game wise.
So in terms of just right now, what I'm looking forward to is probably Cyberpunk and Halo Infinite, just because I'm a huge Halo fan. And
Halo Infinite looks like
I do respect CD Projekt Red because they actually make quality games, but then don't want to just completely crap on their
fan base.
So
CD Projekt Red is an amazing company so far. So
they're the only AAA gaming company that makes good games. Right now. Yeah, for now.
I hope they don't screw up like all the other ones.
But in terms of what I saw from the PS5 event that really piqued my interest, the only thing I saw was Hitman 3. That was really the only thing, unfortunately, because and it wasn't even like, oh, I'm super excited. It's just cool. I'll get it if it maybe a little after it comes out, see if it's good first. But it wasn't like I didn't see any games where like I need to have it. I need to play it now. Especially when a lot of those gameplay demos and like not the game. The reveals were not demos; they were just cinematics.
Yeah, there were a lot of cinematics in. I was hoping for more gameplay, but this is what we're getting from these studios nowadays. All right, Wes, what do you think? I want to hear what you're looking forward to. In the chat, everybody's looking forward to Cyberpunk, Horizon Zero Dawn, Halo Infinite. I think Halo Infinite's going to be a universally loved game.
I hope so. I mean, 343 has been listening to the community recently, so that's good. I mean, you can tell with the Chief's new look. So, it's clearly it's more Halo and less, because 343's art style is not Halo. It just isn't visually Halo. So they're going back to the Bungie type art style where it actually looks like Halo. If the toy reveal that I covered on my other channel is anything to go by, hopefully that toy is actually of the new Spartan armor that you can play with in multiplayer. So, and it definitely looks very Halo. But yeah, it's
new red versus blue TV little shorts.
No, not with what they're doing to Rooster Teeth right now. You can't expect that. Yeah,
I used to watch once in a while.
Yeah. Wes, I'm sorry we interrupted the pants off of you. Go.
No, that's all right. I was thinking about it. It gave me a chance to mull it over. Okay. And how I was going to say what I was going to say. Of what I've seen, I'm most excited for Hitman 3 on the PlayStation 5. I would say what I have not seen and what I want to see. I would love to see the next Elder Scrolls game.
Well, we're not going to get that for a while.
I know, but I want it.
Wow.
Don't rush it. I know, don't rush it. Well, they haven't rushed it for sure, but I would love to.
I think it was a big mistake. They released that little hint trailer.
Yeah.
And then they're like, that was like, what, 2 years ago?
The one that showed text over a mountainscape.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. And then everybody's like, what's going on?
It was
like, shut up.
Because it was right before Fallout 76 came out.
which was a giant turd.
Yes, it was
And
a
they-
huge turd.
And well, it still is, yeah.
That one.
Even with Wastelanders, but no, it's a giant. It was a giant turd. It was a giant turd. They were going to have more of a giant turd because they were going down the same path with that game. So I guess we're glad that there was such a revolt against 76, because could you imagine having like limited NPCs and like the same game engine and crap for a Elder Scrolls game?
20-year-old game engine. Dear God.
Yeah.
Like even
thank you.
343 is making a new engine for Halo Infinite because they've been using the same engine since CE.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's been forever. I thought it was 15, 16 years, but you're right. I think it's closer to 20. I think you're 100% right.
It was on 2018 when they revealed the new engine, the Slipspace engine for their.
God, unbelievable.
Yeah. And then,
actually, more accurately, Fallout 76 is a dumpster fire. Someone keeps pouring gasoline on.
Yeah, God, what a mess.
Anything else, Wes? Because we're running low on time.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch. I love that. That's man, I'm just and at least come on, guys, at least give us a trilogy that doesn't have those ass-tastic Wii controls that's remastered in HD. I mean, really.
I would love a new Metroid game.
Hate the fucking Wii controls. Ugh.
I haven't played a Metroid game in years.
All right, so we have
those controllers are made for throwing. Anyway, that's the end of my.
They are made for throwing. They're like the boomerang thing. I mean, at least that's what Ryan Cannell thinks. But anyway,
do they actually
yeah, no. So yeah. So anyway, so we have a couple minutes. I wanted to touch on the movie stuff that I really wanted to get to too. So they're shuffling a bunch of movies around, guys. You know, they're moving things forward, moving things back. Looks like we're going to get Bill and Ted earlier than we thought. That's kind of cool. Huh. Anybody looking forward to Bill and Ted?
I don't think I've ever saw the original, so.
Wow. Go back and watch them, dude.
Watch them.
They're excellent.
They're excellent, man.
Well, one's excellent and one's bogus.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very true, but they're both great.
That's a pretty accurate one. Yeah.
Yeah. Tenet is still on track, at least from what I think. I mean, so we still will get. One, right? Yeah, which is going to be another mind.
It looks really good, but I have no idea what Tenet is from. So.
Well, okay, so this is like the criminal. Yeah, this is like a whole other way of messing with, time. So, before we messed with dreams because Nolan's a whack job, and now we're going to mess with time. So this could be cool, or it could be too complicated for most audiences. We'll see.
I didn't really like, what's the World War? Was it World War II?
Oh,
1917.
Dunkirk?
God damn it. What was the one? Dunkirk, yeah. Oh, God. I couldn't stand it. I had to get out of the theater. I mean, they replicated war a little bit too closely. I was like, I got to get out of here.
Unfortunately,
how'd you do?
Desensitized from that, so.
Yeah, how did you do with Inception? This is kind of an Inception-y movie.
I loved Inception.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be more like that.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think he's back to making his style of films, like his original stuff.
Yeah, stay away from the war movies, bud. Stay away from the war movies.
Well, we're glad you're here, Another Monster. I know it's okay. You can rewatch it. I don't take my streams down because we usually don't do anything bad. I mean, sometimes, but.
So Bill and Ted. Thoughts on Bill and Ted? Really looking forward to it. It's too bad that Carlin is dead.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Looks like we might be getting. Yeah, it looks. I mean, a lot of people commented on their appearance and their age and stuff, and that doesn't really bother me. It's just the cycle of life.
No,
I mean, we're all going through it.
Plus years later, what do you expect?
Yeah. Not as many people are like me and get more handsome as they get older. But I'm super excited for Tenet. Obviously, they moved Wonder Woman again.
Did they?
Yeah,
I have no.
Yeah, they moved that again.
That's honestly not a movie I'm looking forward to. Not that I'm like disinterested in it. It's just I don't care. It doesn't seem to draw me in. It's not interesting like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm just tired of the whole trope of going back to the 80s or the 90s. It's like everyone's doing that now because they think that's what we all love. We love that time. And it's true, we did. The content was good then, not the time itself.
Well, it was an uplifting point in time. Everybody has very fond memories of it because we were, despite being in the midst of a Cold War. This is the thing that most people, young people, don't understand. We were in the midst of a Cold War. It was
right. That's why I
no
said
bueno.
the content was good, not the time itself.
Yeah, but we were all optimistic about the future, because things we were advancing in so many different ways, and we were coming together. We were unifying as a people in this country and elsewhere in the world. And so it's easy to go, hey, I wish I lived in those times. It's easy to go back and tell a story in those times.
It's the whole grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
So.
Having lived through the 80s, I could say I had a really sucky time as a kid.
Did you really?
Well, yeah. Well, my parents were getting divorced, so it was really rough.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, mine had already done that, so I had the 70s were my issue.
Nice, lucky you. I did like miniature golfing, video arcades, Chuck E. Cheese.
Those are still around, actually.
Yeah, they're still around. I got Chuck E. Cheese here. Right.
Well, the Chuck E. Cheeses now are like a third of the size they used to be.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm referring not to Chuck E. Cheese, to like genuine arcades. They're just.
Oh yeah, most.
Yeah,
I have
still one.
There's still a few here.
I don't think I have any here. Nope.
I still like, small confession, I still like miniature golf more than regular golf.
Do you really?
I'll preface it by saying regular golf, if you get slightly liquored up and do donuts in the golf cart, then it's fun. Just stay off a main road. You can get a DUI that way. I had a friend get one.
Run over pedestrians. Oh, look, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that.
Nowadays, where I live, people just drive their mowers on the street while they're drunk. So,
Jeez. All right. Wow. No, and when you live in the outskirts, when you live in the outskirts, you get a lot of weird driving of things that you normally wouldn't see on the road.
Well, if you're ever in New York, I can recommend a really good arcade to you guys.
Oh, cool! That's awesome. Yeah,
New York.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until you guys decide not to tear down the cities in that area some more, and then I might come back to New York.
Well, I'm not doing any of it.
I didn't think you were.
Yeah, I do hear the rides though at night. It's kind of frightening at times.
Yeah, no, not good. Well, guys, we are about out of time, so I want everybody to have a chance to plug their channel, because one of the reasons you guys are here is because you all are great content creators. All of you are building up. When we got to support each other, we rise together, is what we say here in the Fandom Menace.
Yep.
And absolutely, Wes has been rising all over the place. He's appearing on everybody's channels lately. The guy's a celebrity, but I'll let him tell you all about that in just a second. We're going to start right below me with the Mirror Sphere's origin.
Well, kind of a newer channel. I talk about reviews of books, games, TV shows. I'm working on my book series, so hopefully that'll be done by December. Other than that, just come on by. I'd love to be on anybody's channel anytime if I can. Just let me know. I'm looking for a book cover artist and soon. So other than that.
There you are, KR awesome. Companion. I think he did Stephen Moulton's book cover, didn't he? Yeah. Reach out. There's a few really good artists. KR Companion, Xevious. Xevious is talented. If you want more animated, art style with lots of paint effects, he really good. There's a lot of. We have a community full of them. So yeah, Wes and I have the opportunity to cross around with some of these people. So it's cool. All right, Mando. It looks like Mando's got his arcade picture up. All right, Mando, go.
That's actually taken in Star Citizen.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, which screen? Where is that? Because I'll have to go through it.
There's a go to any of the R&R stations, and there's a
okay.
There's right. Arcades. There's 4 of them lined up. But,
I have to. Now I've got an adventure to go on. So,
you can actually play them
promo your channel.
All right. Well, I got 2 channels. I got Mando Merc, where I do all my gaming and gameplay videos. I actually have a premiere in like an hour.
Cool.
75 minutes. And Then I have Cast in the Shadows, which is my gaming news and reviews and discussions type channel. We have a monthly podcast there, which by the same name. We just put out the latest episode, and it has a very, shall I say, provocative thumbnail, so this way it's easy to draw your eyes to.
It works.
Yeah, we just cover everything escapism, cover comic books and stuff, but mostly we prioritize gaming. So.
Oh gosh, I'm glad. Yeah, you have 2 channels. Did you get them both in?
I think I sent them both in.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, yeah, I think we threw them into the chat too while we were going. So between Wes and I. So, all right, well now we are going to grind. Oh, we lost Mirror Spear's Origin again. He just said he had to bounce. It's no biggie. And Wes, you're up, my man. Yeah, let's hear all about the Wes Moody webcast.
Hello, folks. I am Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast and patreon.com/Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it's my webcast. And some folks in the chat have noted I am hashtag Lord of the Waterfowl, but I'm doing a follow-up to that called, I'm going to tease it, Tastes Like Chicken. Wait for it. Thank you, my friends. Be honored if you'd consider subscribing.
All right, and as you know, I'm your host. I am Culture Casino. I have a YouTube channel, which you know because you're here. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And if you hit like on this video, I would really appreciate it. If you're watching this later, then thank you for watching this later. And if you didn't like it, well, you never know what you're going to get on YouTube, as Wes says. So, you know, it is what it is.
Tell us why.
Otherwise, otherwise you can hit me on Twitter if you think you want to tell me what a bad person I am. I'm happy to listen. And aside from that, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands. And until next time, we all say bye.
See ya.